with TJ Scott. Thank you, TJ. Let's ask this again. And in a super chat this time, how can the AAC and or the Mountain West become a Power 5 or autonomous conference? What do they have to do?
Okay, I've got an answer for this.
Thank you for the super chat.
Because
thank you, TJ.
The only way I see forward to them doing that, because the AAC, because Mike Oresco, God bless him forever, has been pounding the drum of Power 6 or whatever, and he's tried and tried and tried to get people to, on board with him. But it doesn't matter if the fans are all on board with him. He needs the other 5 conferences to say yes to it, which they have not. So the only way that I can think that it would work is that if Oregon State and Washington State win their lawsuit or whatever legal wrangling you want to call it against the Pac-12, where those 2 schools are in charge of the name, the branding, and everything that belongs to the Pac-12 since everyone else is leaving. So once all that stuff is distributed and whatever, they get to keep that. And then they go to the Mountain West and say, look, we're going to join you, but we're now the Pac-12. Gloria Navarez is in charge. We're the Pac-12. And then from whatever contracts that they have, because they met the standard of remaining the same size that they need to be to stay in the autonomous 5, then they kind of sneak in. But I don't think that if something's happened that would take them out of that they can just go to the other 4 and be like, okay, we've got 14 teams now. We're a Power 5 again. I don't know, but I think that's the only way that it can really happen.
Yeah, I don't think that there's no automatic you get it. It was, voted on and agreed to and, years ago put together. So I think, the only way that I know of would be to basically become the Pac-12 in name only and just, like you said, absorb their rights. So Oregon State and Washington State would have to just hold it together and then, whatever you do as far as the merger and all of those things that get figured out, that's the only way that I see, because I don't think that those involved are going to be like, you know what, let's open this up and let's trade the Pac for the AAC. Like, I think that's the last thing that they probably want to do, right, is just go welcome in a bunch of new teams. But, yeah, I mean, to me, to the best of my knowledge, I think that, the only likely way that happens is if you're still the Pac-12, even if it's just 2 of those same schools and all the rest are brand new additions. But that's something that does need to be figured out. And I don't know what a timeline on that would be, but obviously you've got to figure out the Pac situation first, which is what we're still in the midst of right now.
Well, I do hope for Washington State and Oregon State that they remain as a part of that. I know that they've done nothing wrong. I know that the teams in the Mountain West or the AAC would like to have a piece of that, and some are now enjoying that or are about to. I don't think anyone's going to want another. I'm just saying what, in my opinion, I don't think the powers that be are going to want another Power 5 or Autonomy 5 conference. It's one less one to deal with when it comes to the playoff. And that's not what I want, but that's just my opinion of probably what is more likely the case than others.
Yeah, I would it's not like they could do this and if it wasn't already in a contract, be like, submit it. They'd have to do it and be like, you guys agreed to this before and didn't know it. We got you. We're a Power 5.
Yeah, it's not like there's a bar that you hit and all of a sudden you automatically are qualified or, you're automatically that. So, I don't think it's an interesting question, though, because I think the autonomy thing gets very confusing for a lot of people. Like, how did you get it? How is it obtained in the first, all of that. And, the important thing is having the voting rights and having that same type of power and acknowledgement as far as in the playoff and things like that. So it's definitely a big deal. And if somehow, Oregon State and Washington State are able to maintain that, I still wonder if, frankly, I don't know. We need somebody that knows that structure and how all of that works to explain it better. But I don't think there'll be any rush to now Tulane and everybody, this is the new Pac-12, and they're the same as the Big Ten and the Big 12 and the ACC and so on and so forth. I don't think it's going to be welcomed that way.
Matthew Nichols.